Hello everyone, Chris Oakley here with an all too rare video for all of you wonderful people out there in Patreon land. All too rare because I always wanted to do lots of videos and still intend to if I can, but you know how it is, life sometimes gets in the way and you get busy doing things. So a video. So first of all, before I go any further, I just want to say hope you're all happy and well. And I hope you're all coping well, given the fact that the coronavirus situation is what it is these days. Not the best situation in the world, but I hope you're all doing whatever it takes to stay healthy and well, and mentally well too. That's very important. And I mean, that's part of the reason for doing this video. Hopefully watching me and listening to me sort of helps calm your nerves a bit under the circumstances. But the main reason for doing the video is that I always intended to just sort of do the occasional video just to let you know what I'm working on and what it was like for me doing some of the illustrations and things on the KitBliss website. So to that end, I thought I'd give you a bit of an update. First of all, literally only about half an hour ago, I finished illustrating a Crystal Palace kit. Why? Well, just because it's one of the kits that I draw every month for people on Patreon that donate $3 a month or more. As you probably know, if you donate $1 a month, you get instant access to all the podcasts and things that I do. If you donate $3 a month, then I'll illustrate one kit per month for your nominated team. And it just so happens that one of my Patreon supporters, an old friend, Terry DeFellon. If you're watching, Terry, hello, is a Crystal Palace supporter. So every month I draw one Crystal Palace kit, and then the idea is that over a period of months, that page, the Crystal Palace page in this case, on the KitBliss website fills up with kits, and it's all down to, in this case, Terry and his kind generosity. So if you support another team, if you have a particular team, then you're actually helping to fill up that team's page on the KitBliss website through your kind generosity. So I've just done the Crystal Palace kit for this month, and it's the 1993-94 home kit, which is by Ribeiro. I think it's the first time I've ever drawn a Ribeiro kit, but it's quite a nice, smart kit. Sort of understated, but quite nice. Red and blue stripes and all that sort of thing. So I've just done that one. And yesterday I uploaded to the KitBliss website a spreadsheet, or a link to a spreadsheet. You may have seen this. It's called Kit Supplies Season by Season, and it's a spreadsheet which I've been working on for years and have had sort of updated for years. But the thing is, somewhat selfishly you might say, I've kind of kept it to myself so that I can use it as a resource tool for features on the KitBliss website or KitBliss podcasts, because it's quite handy to be able to say to people, oh yeah, this is the new Ipswich Town kit is the first one made by Adidas since 1993 or something. And it's not easy to be able to just lay your hands on that sort of information quickly unless you've already collated it into something like the spreadsheet that I've done. And I realised that would be a handy resource years ago. So I did the spreadsheet. But I just sort of felt in the last few months it would be good, in a sort of Tim Berners-Lee kind of way, to make the spreadsheet publicly accessible, freely accessible, so that anybody can use that information. It's been nice having the kudos of being able to relate that information so quickly. But it's nice for other people to make use of that. So I thought I'll put a link to the spreadsheet on the KitBliss website, and then anyone can access it then. And I have done other versions of the spreadsheet, because the one I've done is focusing on the English and Welsh teams that have been in the Premier League and the Football League since 1970. I do have other ones that I've been working on, like for Scottish teams. I'm part of the way doing a spreadsheet for French clubs. And the intention is to do lots of others, but of course it takes time to build those up. And the thing with this English and Welsh one that I've just made available is that I've colour coded all the cells. So you can tell, for instance, if we pick another club like Hull City, you can see which division Hull City were in, or rather which tier of English football they were in, season by season. And it's a time-consuming thing, but hopefully people will appreciate it. You may appreciate it as a resource tool. So I've been working on that over the last, getting that on the website in the last day or two. You may also have seen the NASL 77 kits that I did. It's like a set piece graphic. It's an update of a thing I did about 18 months ago, and it now has all the away kits for those teams that were involved in the NASL competition of 77. And that's enjoyable. Always enjoyed doing the NASL kits, just because in a lot of cases the kits are more modern looking than the kits that were being worn in England and Wales, which is kind of what I'm used to, having grown up in England and lived in England for so long. So there's a degree of modernity and even razzmatazz about the NASL kits, no matter what year you pick. So that's good. In the next few days, I'll be doing the rest of your Patreon kits, the ones that you pay for, if you're indeed paying $3 or $5 a month. $5 gets you 3 kits, so something to consider there if you're not already on the $5 a month tier. I've got all the others to do really. I've only done 2 so far for this month. I usually start around about the middle of the month. I start doing all of your Patreon kits so that they get done before the end of the month. And the only 2 I've done so far are the Crystal Palace one that I mentioned, and I've done the Singapore away kit for, what year was that, 1998. I did the home 1998 kit last month, and the away kit is based on the same template. It's basically blue, and it's got kind of stars on the sleeves. It's very out there as football kit designs go. Singapore clearly were in need of something a bit more vibrant in that particular year, but much more to do. I always do kits every month for Aston Villa, Ireland, Wales, Liverpool, sometimes Marseille, sometimes Celtic, lots of them. You'll have seen them every month. I always put the updates on the Patreon page there. So, yep, going to be doing more of those. And what else have I been working on? Not much more than that, really. So if you can hear a noise, my dog. I won't move the camera because otherwise I may never get the camera back in the right position again. But yep. Oh, and the other thing I've been working on, just started working on, is preparation for the next Kitbliss podcast, which is episode 24. Myself, Jay, John and Rich will be getting together again this Saturday, hopefully, as long as good health and everything else allows us to do that. And the subject for the podcast is basically football kits that inspire. The inspiration for that, ironically, comes from something that I think John Devlin said on a podcast we did ages ago. He said a good football kit design should be able to inspire the team that's wearing it. My dog is playing in the background with a couple of shopping bags that happen to be lying around, so sorry for the noise. Anyway, yeah, a good football kit design should be able to inspire the team that wears it. And I heard that the other day. I was listening to an old podcast and I thought, that's a good idea. Maybe we should talk about that. What does a football kit need to be able to inspire the team that wears it? Can a football kit actually inspire a team? Because, you know, even if football kit like the England 1966 home kit, for example, just had a white shirt and a badge. That was it. It was, you know, ring neck, round collar. Nothing very detailed or extravagant, and yet people say, oh, you know, one of those shirts that makes you sort of kiss the badge and all that, and you think, well, okay, fine, yeah, great classic sort of kit, but really there's not much there. So can simplicity on that very basic level inspire a team? We're going to be looking at kits that were worn in relegation years for certain teams. We're going to be just exploring all the facets of what a kit needs to inspire a team, indeed whether a kit can have such an effect on a team that they end up playing badly and maybe getting relegated. So if you've got any comments on that, any feedback you want to give us, we'll definitely read out your feedback and comments during the podcast, because you're Patreon people, you're wonderful Patreon subscribers. Whereas I can't make the same guarantees for non-Patreon people, if you know what I mean. So do get in touch. You've got a few days to do that. Otherwise, we'll read your comments out on the next podcast that we do. So looking forward to that. Always nice to talk to Jay, John and Rich, and just to talk about football kits, because, you know, that's what it's all about, really. And yeah, as you saw mentioned probably on a previous Patreon thing, yeah, I won't be going to Italy and the UK and Europe as was planned next month in April because of coronavirus. That's, you know, don't need to explain that, do I really? I mean, you kind of know that Europe is basically being locked down and shut down as we speak. So, you know, maybe later on in the year or early next year that might happen. So, yeah, there we are. That's just a brief update. If I've got anything else that I can tell you about, then I'll do so on future videos. I want to try doing a few more videos if I can. So if there's anything you want me to discuss on these videos, by the way, if you want to throw me a random question about anything football kit related, you know, do you like this kit or what do you think of that kit, then feel free. Only too happy to deal with your feedback. It's always a joy to hear from you all. But anyway, for the time being, for now, that's it from me. Stay well, be happy, and speak to you again soon.